Right now at 6, a car crashes through the roof of a house in La Crescent, where drugs and alcohol a contributing factor. And as the convention wraps up, GOP voters look ahead to an election season unlike any other. Ken and Al.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown. A scary scene this morning in La Crescent as a car becomes airborne and crashes through the roof of a garage. It happened on Juniper Street at 10:15 this morning. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall is live. And Jeremy, how did this happen?
Yeah, Emily, well, the good news is since we last came on the air, they have a tarp on the roof now, but they tell me it was a scary scene this morning. Neighbors, leaving neighbors speechless, and they just can't believe something like this happened in La Crescent. According to police, the car was traveling along a hilltop stretch of County Highway 25 when it left the roadway, launching it over the edge of the hill and straight into a garage roof. Nobody was home at the time, but the driver was injured in the crash. A next-door neighbor tells me he's glad the strange incident didn't turn out worse.
I had seen a picture from my mom that had happened, but just seeing it in person is ridiculous. I mean, he's lucky, honestly, to have such a dense backyard, because that could have been a lot worse if there hadn't been anything.
Foreman also describes the incident as scary. He adds, you don't think of these things happening here in La Crescent. Now, La Crescent police tell me drugs and alcohol were not involved in the incident. They also say the victim was transported to the hospital. For now, live in La Crescent, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. The final night of the Republican National Convention is underway. Ken Kazarowski and Allison Fergut are live in Milwaukee ahead of Donald Trump's speech. Ken.
Good evening, Emily. There's an electricity in the air as attendees continue to walk behind us to the atrium into the Fiserv Forum. They're, of course, awaiting Donald Trump to officially accept the nomination for the third consecutive time to be the GOP nominee for president. That'll be coming up later tonight. And we have heard from a ton of officials over the last few days who all believe Trump's speech tonight is going to be one that leans on inspiration and trying to have a message of national unity. Now, Allison, we've been in this RNC bubble since Sunday. Obviously, there is a united front, a lot of ideology that's consistent among everyone attending. But the big question is, how do campaigns over the next 3.5 months leading up to November, how does the conversation shift after some relative calm we experienced this week politically?
Yeah, Ken, I spoke with both parties today, and they were both of them were emphasizing the importance of focusing on policy going forward instead of personal attacks like we usually see in political rhetoric. So as we get closer to the election, it's really going to be a focus, they say, on policy instead of those personal attacks.
Ultimately, our focus is going to be on unity and on that vision to make sure we make America great again.
While negative attack ads are commonplace in American politics, there's been less mudslinging than usual as the RNC convened shortly after the assassination attempt on former President Trump.
This politics of personal destruction, attacking each other, needs to come to an end.
GOP leaders say they want to focus on the positives moving forward.
The main motivation of this convention has been love of country. I think we've seen that night after night. We've seen that with what the speakers have said, and that's going to carry through this entire campaign.
Positive messaging is something Democrats are also on board with.
I truly believe that we really need to get back to calling for unity. We have been dealing with misinformation, disinformation, lies, rhetoric, political violent rhetoric, right? And so whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or somebody who clearly don't care about politics, this has no place in particularly this upcoming election.
But some worry that after a temporary break, we'll return to the typical divisive rhetoric that defines our elections.
Look, I've been in this race, and all Senator Baldwin has done is lie about me and make made up stories and attack me.
You can't call for unity and then come out and attack Democrats.
And a movement away from attack ads will require both parties' cooperation.
If we're going to do what we say we're going to do, then we should actually make sure that we're finding ways to unify this country.
So tonight will be Donald Trump's first time addressing the public since that attempted assassination. And so it'll be really interesting. I think this is a great moment for Trump to really call for civility and unity. I know it's what a lot of people are hoping for right now.
And that is exactly the message we've been hearing from the Wisconsin delegates who are hailing from our neck of the woods in western Wisconsin. I spoke to a number of them who want that return to civility, but they also have a couple of big policies that they think are the most important leading up to Election Day. And those two are inflation, especially gas prices, and the border crisis. Now, I spoke with Shannon. She is one of the official delegates. She says the rise in fentanyl and other opioid overdoses are tied to the illicit drugs coming over the southern border, and that's a top concern from her. The wave of immigration as well. She says it's overtaxing America's ability to make the American dream possible for all of those people, and that has been a common thread shared by several other delegates from Wisconsin that we've talked to. Now, Donald Trump in the past has called for the largest deportation of immigrants in U.S. history, and that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Delegates say they're not always thrilled with how Trump communicates some of these messages, but that his policies will fix the issues they see.
I don't agree with President Trump 100% of the time, and I tend to look at what people do, not what they say.
The Republican Party is about equal rights for all under the law, and I believe the Republican Party has always been that. It hasn't changed.
But alluding to what Don Lee said there, who grew up in La Crosse, graduated from La Crosse Central, Trump has to first say things before he does them because obviously he's not currently president of the United States. Though that is the hope for the thousands of people who are here in downtown Milwaukee awaiting him to accept that nomination and to hear what exactly he has to say in the wake of that assassination attempt in Pennsylvania last week. So for Allison Ferget, I'm Ken Kozorowski, live just outside the Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee. We'll have coverage of Trump's speech coming up later tonight. It'll be a late one, so make sure you're staying up with us. Emily, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ken. Moving now to breaking news elsewhere in the world of politics. People close to Joe Biden say the president appears to have accepted that he will have to drop out of the 2024 election. That's according to a New York Times report released just minutes ago. The development comes after former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi reportedly showed the president polling data indicating that he couldn't win. Sources interviewed for the New York Times report say they expect Biden to endorse Kamala Harris if he does indeed drop out. Well, lovely July day here again in our region. And Nicole, we're getting spoiled. Hopefully we don't have any highs coming up here in the near future.
No, we're going to stay pretty cool, pretty seasonable for this time of year. It's feeling a lot more like June out there, in my opinion. Now, we did get a little bit cold last night. Some of us seeing those 40-degree temperatures. So if you did have your window open, like I suggested, you might have gotten a little bit of a chill when you woke up this morning. Rest of us, though, sitting in those 50s this morning, but it was definitely a cooler one than we've been used to. Now, for the rest of the evening hours tonight, if you have any plans tonight, if you're going to get that after dinner ice cream or fun activities like that, you're in for a treat because it's going to be nice, warm, and clear. Not a lot of wind out there either, and it's a very similar story over in Eau Claire. Sticking in the 70s until the sun sets later tonight and then dipping back down into those 60s. Other than that, though, it's going to stay pretty seasonable and pretty around normal for our temperatures as we get throughout the rest of the week. Getting into this weekend, though, we are going to have some rain chances return. Now, these aren't going to be the most heavy precipitation chances, but there is going to be quite a few of them as we get into the week, and it's going to account for most of the days into the week. And then, but again, these aren't going to be a lot of precipitation that accounts with these events.
Okay, as long as these temps remain the same, I think we'll all be good,
Yep.
even if there's some rain. All right, thank you. Crisis Calls, how one local service is taking around-the-clock calls to help combat mental health and addiction struggles.
At By Gotham Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. By Gotham Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
Listen to Senator Tammy Baldwin.
What is your view of the Biden presidency?
It is one of the most successful administrations in generations.
Most successful in generations? Inflation is sky high. Our border is wide open. Drugs flood our streets. the world is in chaos.
One of the most successful administrations in generations.
If this is success, we're in big trouble.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months plus $0 first payment plus no payments for 90 days on a 2024 Ford F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals, like $100 instant savings on 4 Michelin, BF Goodrich, or Uniroyal tires. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. Rewards members save $3 on Blaine's Lawn and Garden utility batteries. Not a rewards member? Sign up at checkout or online. Don't miss our Rewards Member Appreciation Event going on now.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline has answered a staggering 10 million texts, calls, and chats since its launch 2 years ago. While their numbers are on the rise, other crisis hotlines are seeing a decrease in calls. News 8 Now's Michael Germain spoke with Great Rivers 211, who says since the pandemic ended, their call volume is coming down. Michael.
Yeah, Emily, that's right. Great Rivers 211 is a service that connects people with resources for a variety of issues like addiction and crisis support since the early 2000s. But now that the pandemic is behind us and other hotlines like the 988 Suicide Prevention Hotline have come online, they say their numbers are starting to settle.
It's those community resources that people need to meet their everyday needs.
211 centers are available in 98% of the country, helping connect folks with resources for homelessness, mental health, and those dealing with a crisis. But according to officials in Onalaska, call volume as of late has begun to decrease.
May I ask you for your age? During the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw numbers we'd never seen before.
In 2023, the center took over 24,000 calls, helping serve over 21 counties throughout western Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, and northeast Iowa.
Most of those calls were people calling about mental health and addictions.
Lundeen says they're seeing similar numbers in 2024 compared to last year.
So we think we're kind of getting to what our baseline is after COVID, which is about, anywhere between 60 to 90 calls per day.
She says providing these services is so needed due to the amount of resources throughout the Coulee region, including housing assistance, paying for utilities, and access to food.
But the only thing worse than if we didn't have those resources is to have them and not know about them. It's hard for one individual to know everything about their community, but that's our job. That's where we step in.
Helping connect people with current, reliable, and up-to-date resources that are available throughout the community.
Those days when you can step in and you can provide someone a resource and make a difference that just, can make the difference between them being able to afford their medications that month or not.
Now, if you or someone you know is dealing with a crisis, addiction, or basic needs, you can dial 211 24 hours, 7 days a week. Emily, back to you.
All right, thank you, Michael. The former Monroe County Sheriff's deputy charged with sexual assault is bound over for trial. 29-year-old Aaron Yang is accused of engaging in sexual activities with his 16-year-old babysitter, sometimes with his young daughter in the room. He faces several charges, including third-degree sexual assault and sexual intercourse with a child 16 or younger. Yang was released on a $2,000 signature bond, and the alleged events occurred before he was hired by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. In La Crosse County Court today, the judge has found probable cause for Yang to continue with the trial. An iconic Wisconsin restaurant celebrates 40 years. How Governor Tony Evers is honoring everybody's favorite Butterburger chain.
Going to be a nice evening tonight, and that's going to continue in tomorrow. I'll have all the updates on the rest of the weather for the rest of the week coming up.
Isn't it time you turn your backyard into the oasis you've always wanted? Come to La Crosse Fireplace Company and find your outdoor setup. Imagine gathering with family and friends around your wood-fired pizza oven. Sit back and relax around your new fire table. Available in different sizes and styles to fit your lifestyle and budget. Stop in this month and receive 15% off all in-stock outdoor products. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is outside by the fire.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months plus $0 first payment plus no payments for 90 days on a 2024 Ford F-150, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
At Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, we're making it easier than ever to furnish your home with name brand, top quality furniture. For a limited time, you'll save with store-wide sale prices. Plus, we'll pay your sales tax. Sofas and sectionals from Smith Brothers, Lazy Boy, and Flex Steel. Bedrooms and dining rooms from Canal Dover and Daniels Amish. They're all at sale prices. And now, we'll pay your sales tax. But it's only for a limited time at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Voted your favorite furniture store.
Governor Tony Evers is declaring July 18th as Culver's Day across the state. Evers' official act recognizes the unique cultural significance of the Wisconsin-based fast casual chain, which is celebrating 40 years in business today. Founded in Sauk City in 1984, Culver's is known for its signature Butterburger and, of course, that delicious frozen custard. It's come a long way in those 40 years. The chain has become synonymous with Badgerland cuisine, serving up classic Wisconsin flavors here at home and 25 other states. Culver's now has almost 1,000 locations across the country, with plans to open 51 more alone this year. Well, wonderful evening weather we have for moon tunes or just getting outdoors in general tonight. Let's send it over to Nicole to see if we're going to need a sweater for it or not.
Yeah, if you're staying out a little bit later tonight, you might want to bring a sweater with you. Right now, though, it's perfect weather to go out and walk the dog or just go for a walk yourself. Any activities outside this evening are going to shape up to be really nice for you. Right now in La Crosse, 78, 73 in Winona, 77 Eau Claire, 70s for much of our area. That is going to dip down a little bit later tonight. But in regards for this time yesterday, we are sitting a little bit warmer now. We are still well below the average for this time of year. Again, it's feeling much more like early June out there, which I really love and appreciate. Now, in regards to yesterday, some of us to the north are a little bit warmer. Again, still sitting below average. Now, these cooler temperatures aren't the only thing that's contributing to why we're feeling so comfortable. It's also some dry air out there. A lot of our dew points for the area are in those low 50s, even a few 40s out there. So this cool, dry air mass is really combining to give us that comfortable weather, and that's going to stay around for a few days until we get these rain chances. Now, our temperatures aren't going to become unbearable with these rain chances, and these aren't going to be very dramatic rain chances either. As we can see, we're going to have this low pressure system move into western Iowa by around Sunday night, and that's just going to sit there, kind of circulate that moisture around, believe it or not, our area for multiple days in a row. 40% chance of rain on Sunday, going down to 30 on Monday, back up to 40 on Tuesday, and then 30% again on Wednesday. So that low is just going to sit there. We're also going to have another system coming in from our north with a cold front that's going to bring even a little bit more energy and lift to get those showers up and running. Now, these showers aren't going to be anything very widespread. And again, these aren't going to be total washout types of days, and they're much going to be heavily much more towards the day rather than at night when we get that sunshine heating up the air a little bit. So in combination with those two systems of energy passing through and that sunshine, we're going to be getting a few of those pop-up showers. Probably not any heavy precipitators though, nothing too major or dramatic to be concerned about. So if you have plans next week, don't go quick to cancel them quite yet, as there mainly going to be some sprinkles out there. As we can see, much of our area is going to be sitting around 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch of accumulation, and this is over an entire week from today. So again, nothing too heavy to be concerned about. Not everyone will get wet every day either, but we will have chances for those sprinkles for almost every day next week. So just keep that in mind. You might want to bring your umbrella with you to work every day. Overnight lows tonight, a little bit warmer than we had last night. Not seeing any 40s in the area, sticking in those 50s. Still below average though, nice and cool to keep your window open. Tomorrow, a similar story, nice and below average temperatures sitting in those 80s, and those temperatures are going to be staying near normal for the rest of the week. Apart from those rain chances, it really is a pleasant week. And again, don't go canceling your plans just yet, because those are really only going to be sprinkles, and not everyone's going to see them either.
Okay, looks good either way. Thank you, Nicole. Coming up in sports, a breakdown of the MLB standings as teams get ready for the second half. Plus, get ready for football season as Packers training camp starts up next week. Kate has the details after the break.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm 82. 86.
90 years young.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Son, I've served this country. I think I can handle a ballot.
What a jerk.
Eric Hovde, I'm fully aware of whom I'm voting for, and it won't be you.
It's the annual Crazy Days sale at Wesco and Sparta. We've gone completely crazy. It's total pricing pandemonium on our showroom because we've taken some of the craziest price cuts in our history. Find a new selection of home furnishings, furniture, appliances, flooring, plus flooring samples, one-of-a-kind, discontinued items, and slightly blemished goods, all selling at near cost, at cost, even below cost. Hurry! At these crazy low prices, they won't last long. If you're crazy about saving money, hurry into the Crazy Days sale at Wesco and Sparta.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
It's the Hy-Vee BOGO sale this Friday through Sunday. Buy one, get one free. Get BOGOs, BOGOs, and more BOGOs. Buy one, get one free, including on our award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese. Get BOGOs on more than 100 items store-wide. And when you buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. And buy one, get one free. Don't miss the Hy-Vee BOGO sale this Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
Welcome to News 8 Now Sports. A bit of a down week. We've got some Northwoods action later tonight. No MLB until the weekend, and the Olympics still a week out. But it's never too early to talk some football. This Monday, Packer players and staff will be back at Lambeau Field for the 79th training camp in franchise history. Of course, they'll start the camp off with the bike riding tradition, along with their first open practice of the year. There'll be a total of 16 open practices, so a couple of chances to see the team before the start of the season. Myself, and Jacob will be making the trip to Green Bay on Monday, and I can't wait. If you're watching college football this fall, you might see a familiar face on TV as it was announced today that Randall Cobb will join the SEC network as a studio analyst and will appear on select editions of SEC Now throughout the fall. Now, Cobb took to Twitter and said that he's not officially retired, but he is excited for the new opportunity. Cobb spent 10 seasons with the Packers throughout his career before signing with the Jets last season. Second half of the MLB season starts up this weekend. Taking a look at the standings with 65 games to go, the Brewers currently with 55 wins on the season, holding a 4.5 game lead over the Cardinals, with the Pirates at 6.5 back and the Reds 8 games back. Not pictured the Cubs, they're 8.5 games back. And Emily, let's end with something fun. Throughout this week, ESPN has been revealing their top 100 athletes of the 21st century. And today they released the top 25. Any guesses who's number one?
Okay, I have 2 guesses. Tiger Woods or Simone Biles?
Ooh, they're both in the top 10 if I remember correctly, but actually the voters gave it to the 23-time Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps. Obvious
that makes
now
sense.
that you see the name, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching him as a kid win 8 gold medals at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. He was incredible. Rounding out the top 5, tennis icon Serena Williams. At number 2, Lionel Messi. LeBron James at 4. Tom Brady in at 5. And I mean, you could put any of those guys at number 1, and you could believe it. Giannis came in at 42. J.J. Watt, 58. Aaron Rodgers came in at 91. I think he's a little underrated on that
Look at that. I almost thought Tom Brady would be up a little higher, but no, 5. I mean, that's still great.
Interesting list to look at. I mean, so many great athletes. It was really fun.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have another check on your forecast when we come back.
Yeah.
Drug companies are making record profits while our families struggle. As a state lawmaker, I've passed bills to cut prescription drug costs. I'm Katrina Shanklin, and I approve this message because in Congress, I'll work with anyone to negotiate lower drug prices.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Would you hire a barber who's never cut hair before? So why send someone to Congress who's never held public office and never passed a single bill? I'm Katrina Shanklin. I approve this message because we need an experienced congresswoman. Right, Jed?
Well, all this Culver's talk today got me hungry for some ice cream. So if you're heading out today after dinner to go get a sweet treat, you're in for a good treat because it's really not going to drip that much. I mean, ice cream's always going to drip, but it's pleasant ice cream temperatures
That is a great
out there right
point.
now.
You can go to Moon Tunes tonight, then go get some ice cream afterwards, and not worry about being a mess. Oh yeah, ooh, that's my favorite. Thank you so much for joining us at 6. We'll see you at 10.